on rollerblades, a bent baseball bat, a string of victims who all claim the same thing. They were attacked by a boy known only as Lil Slugger. Paranoia Agent isn't just a psychological mystery. It's a terrifying reflection on what happens when society tries to escape reality, and in turn building a monster from its collective guilt. In this video, I'm breaking down Paranoia Agent and why Satoshi Kon's disturbing story hits even harder today than it did in 2004. So without wasting any more time, let's rant about it. Paranoia Agent is a psychological thriller anime created by Satoshi Kon. The story begins with Tsukiko Sagi, a shy character designer who claims she was attacked by a mysterious boy on rollerblades, wielding a bent golden bat, later nicknamed Lil Slugger. As detectives Ikari and Maniwa investigate the case, more people across Tokyo report being attacked by Lil Slugger. But all the victims share a pattern. They were under intense psychological stress and seem relieved after the attack. Strangely, there's no evidence to prove the assailant's existence, leading the detective to suspect that the attacks might be psychological rather than physical. As paranoia spreads, Lil Slugger becomes more myth than man, evolving into a symbol of fear and denial. At the same time, Tsukiko's creation, a cute mascot called Marumi, becomes a national sensation, offering comfort and escapism to a stressed society. The lines between reality and delusion blur as the series progresses, and it's eventually revealed to us that Lil Slugger was born from Tsukiko's childhood guilt. He's not a real person, but a manifestation of emotional repression, one that society has embraced in order to avoid facing uncomfortable truths. As the series continues, Lil Slugger becomes less like a person and more like an urban legend, a virus of the mind. People begin blaming him for everything. For some people, Lil Slugger is a savior from their cornered life, but for others, he's an invisible plague that comes to haunt them when they least expect it. And as more stories of him grows, we start to see that Lil Slugger is growing more and more in power. This is where Kon pushes the boundary. Reality itself begins to erode. The characters and even the viewer can't tell what's real anymore. Are we watching events unfold? Or are we trapped inside the collective delusion? Detective Maniwa is eventually broken too, but instead of running, he dives into the delusion to understand it. He realizes the truth. Lil Slugger is born from fear, denial, and the public's refusal to face their reality.
It's not your fault.
Marumi, you must remember it.
You're just thinking too much. I mean, that was a long time ago, wasn't it? How could he look the same as before? There's no way. It's ridiculous.
Lil Slugger represents destruction. Marumi represents denial, soft, cute, and deadly in a different way. Marumi comforts people, not by helping them grow, but by helping them run away. We see this when Tsukiko is constantly being comforted by Marumi to not think about her past, to not think about the sudden attacks, and to not think about the pressure that she's constantly under. Tsukiko's trauma stems from her childhood, when she accidentally killed her dog. She was too scared to admit this, so she invented a story of a boy who attacked her. That moment, that lie created Lil Slugger and gave birth to Marumi. Marumi exists to protect Tsukiko's fragile mind, and in doing so, she becomes just as dangerous. She silences guilt, she erases responsibility, and she spreads, becoming a pop culture obsession that numbs an entire society. In the finale, Tsukiko is finally forced to confront the truth she buried as a child, the death of her dog, the lies she told in order to not get into trouble with her father, and the fact that she, and only she, created the original delusion of Lil Slugger. By facing her trauma head-on, she breaks the cycle, and with it both Lil Slugger and Marumi begin to disappear. The city symbolically begins to return to normal. Satoshi Kon shows us that healing only begins when we stop running from our inner darkness, when we accept responsibility and let go of the false comfort. And in today's world where stress is constant, online panic spreads like wildfire, and people are always searching for someone to blame, Paranoia Agent is more relevant than ever. Kon's message is chillingly clear. When fear is ignored, it mutates. When trauma is buried, it festers. And if society refuses to face its problems, it will create monsters of its own.
Sayonara.
Guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and as you can see, I'm on my little psychological anime binge nowadays. But if anyone has not watched Paranoia Agent, please, I 100% recommend it, because I want to know what you guys think of the series. Because when I first watched it, I was just a bit confused, and I rewatched it recently and I was just there like, yo, this is actually crazy. But I feel like this anime is so good, very underrated, but I 100% recommend. And if you want me to do more mini deep dives into like psychological animes, please do let me know, because I could go on about them for ages. And with that, guys, I genuinely hope you guys have an amazing week. Remember not to stress yourself out too much. And with that, love you all. Toodles!